Hi folks, this video is number 196. The title is An Eighth Special Event. This story is about how a discussion led to an Easter vision. Rita and I had Easter dinner with our friends Karen and Lou in Tunkhannock. After dinner, I related a story I had recently read about a relationship between a servant or slave to his master. This story begins by explaining that the servant would set the master's dinner table in a certain way. The servant was not allowed to eat with the master. He stood at a distance where he could observe the master eating his dinner. If the master arose and left the table, the servant observed if the linen napkin was crumpled and left on the table. If it was, the master was finished with his meal. That was the sign that the servant could then clear the table. If the linen was still neatly folded and in place, it signified that the master was not finished and would return. Supposedly, this story was related to what was found the day that Jesus' tomb was found empty. There has been a lot of discussion and controversy about a linen that had been claimed to have been in the tomb. Some say it's real, some not. Some see the outline of a face that is claimed to be Jesus. Our discussion centered around whether the two Marys entered the tomb or just looked in. I thought that one or two disciples had been the ones to enter the tomb. We decided to just look it up a bit later. Early Tuesday morning around 4:30 or 5 a.m., I became aware of being in a cave. I was standing against the wall on one side. I could feel the stone. Close in front of me was a stone slab, similar in size to a twin bed. On the head end of the slab was a small pile of rags. Separated and placed in the middle of the slab was a perfectly folded linen. It was in the shape of a perfect square. It was then I realized this had something to do with our discussion. Immediately, as I made that connection, I was raised up and levitated. Next, the only way I can explain is I was scanned. It was a vibration running up and down my entire body. I was scared. I then knew it was real. My arms were extended out to my sides and my fists were clenched. Another indicator that it was real, I could feel my fingernails digging into my palms. I started yelling to the Lord, "What is happening, Lord?" I called out several times. I received no answer. I have always received an answer in the past. The scan stopped. I was lowered to the ground. As soon as I touched the ground, everything went black. I realized it was because now I was awake, and my eyes were still shut. I opened my eyes to a very peaceful calm. This is the first time I've had a vision. I thought about it for a time. What did he want me to understand? The linen was neatly folded and separate from the other crumpled things on the slab. I only had the story I read to relate. The linen was folded neatly, meant that the master is not finished and would be returning. What an Easter present. With all the interactions I've had over the years, I guess you could say I'm not a believer. I'm convinced all things are possible. Well, folks, this concludes the story of my vision on the day after Easter. And as always, I wish everyone All the best.